In the midst of an 82-game season, it is reasonable to expect a few bumps in the road. After a record-breaking start, the grind of the schedule has caught up with the Stars, as have a few teams that have given chase. Tonight, refreshed and refocused, Dallas looks to return to form in the OC as the Stars begin the first of 3 games on the left coast. A busy stretch of 9 games in 15 days for the Dallas Stars was followed by 5 days with no games. Back in action for the first time since last Saturday, Honda Center in Anaheim was the starting point for a 3-game California trip as the Stars meet the Ducks for the second time this season. When we signed off the air last Saturday after the loss against Minnesota, the Central Division lead was 6 points over Chicago. The Hawks have played 4 times since, including earlier tonight in Toronto. They've won all 4. They've won 10 straight to overtake the Stars for the lead in the Central Division. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Dallas Stars Hockey. Dave Strader along with Daryl Ray. 5 days off, Razor. That's good for rest, good for practice, work on systems, because listening to Lindy Ruff, the Dallas Stars need to get back to their style of play.
Yeah, there's going to be some urgency and I think some eagerness in their group here tonight. Eager to get back at it after 5 days off, and some urgency, understanding what you just showcased.
Right.
They trail in the division now. They haven't done that since the start of the season. So the other thing that happened while we were away was it hit pause on Patrick Sharp's league-leading point streak that has hit a dozen games. A goal or an assist here tonight. He ties the Dallas Stars franchise record set by Dave Gagne back in the first season of the Dallas Stars, 93-94. This all started with that game against the Montreal Canadiens when they pumped the Habs on home ice. So the last team to keep them off the score sheet was the Calgary Flames in the loss at American Airlines Center. Otherwise, it's been all this. A lot of stuff interior, too. You know, he doesn't lurk on the perimeter. His skating gets him to spots, his eagerness to get in and around the net, and he's been productive in those spots game in and game out for this Stars club, both on the power play and at even strength. So it's not going to be easy for them here tonight, though, both individually for him and as a group to get back to winning ways, because this is a very stingy and desperate Ducks team.
Fans of the Dallas Stars know how tough it is to make the playoffs after a slow start. Here in Anaheim, they started 1-7-2. It looked like mid-October they were done, but here they are, Razor, 3 points out of a playoff spot.
Yeah, they've benefited quite a bit by the fact that the Pacific Division is relatively weak, and that's kept them in the hunt. And their defensive game, they lean heavily on their ability to keep pucks out of their own net, because their number one issue is putting pucks in the other net. They've scored a paltry 80 goals in the first half of the season this year, the worst offense in the league. 6% shooting. They're scoring on 6% of their shots, the worst in the league, obviously. They've been blanked 8 times. They've been held to a goal or been shut out in 20 of their first 42 games. The poster child for all of this would be their captain, Ryan Getzlaf. Just 3 goals for him, so on pace for 6. I did the math quick. Usually he's a 20-goal man for them. He does lead them in assists. He was benched for parts of last game against the Ottawa Senators, so eager to see how he comes out tonight.
Well, speaking of team captains, the slump for the Dallas Stars, no surprise, has coincided with a drop in production from Jamie Benn, the Stars captain, and his line mate Tyler Seguin. We'll focus in on that duo in our Spotlight next. Back at Honda Center in Anaheim for the Stars and Ducks. Razor, tonight's Spotlight is delivered by the Texas Department of Transportation.
And we put it on the bread and butter of road success. Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin finished the last road trip for the Stars, stapled to the bench. It's been a rough 10 games for them away from home. Jamie, no goals, just 3 assists. Tyler, a few goals, but an ugly plus-minus rating. Both of them look like they really needed that mini break. They won't get one at All-Star time, as both of them are headed to Nashville. Seguin continues to pace the team's goal production on the road. He co-leads the league with 15, most of them at even strength, which is impressive. And skating usually gets him his opportunities. A lot of stuff off the rush lately. It'd be nice to see him get a couple on the power play as well.
The first meeting between these two teams featured a Stars comeback from a 3-0 deficit and a late game-winning goal from Antoine Roussel. The Stars and Ducks do it again coming up. Honda Center in Anaheim, start of a 3-game California trip for the Dallas Stars as they take on the Ducks tonight. Let's take a look at tonight's starting goalies, Razor, presented by Total Hockey.
Kari Lehtonen, who has won 13 of his 16 decisions and is coming off a splendid 2-1 shootout win over the Jets a week ago. Freddie Anderson at the other end has allowed just 2 goals in his last 2 starts, a shootout loss at Vancouver and a win here over Ottawa on Wednesday.
And we'll we'll see if Jamie Benn and company can shake off the rust of being idle for 5 days and also get back to being productive on the road, something that he and his line mates were able to do early on. Razor in the season on the road. It's been tough sledding as we documented the last 10.
Yeah, a little departure, too, from Lindy Ruff to start them here on the road tonight. Not give, sometimes coaches don't want to give the other side the matchup immediately. It's going to be Kessler against Sagan.
As the Ducks try to dump it into the Dallas zone, it's blocked, and Ben backhands it right in on Anderson, who has to cover up with Patrick Sharp closing in on him. We'll have a face-off deep in the Anaheim zone.
I like that. Try your best out there immediately. Lindy Ruff and his staff took in the Ducks-Senators game here live on Wednesday. Said it gives you a better look at a team's systems than video recon when they rely on us to provide the pictures. Good to do from time to time. Knows the Ducks aren't going to give them much in the middle of the rink here tonight. They're going to have to earn that part of this pond.
Ducks come in having won 3 of their last 6, and they are stingy defensively. Face-off controlled by Dallas as Klingberg works it to the corner along the goal line, dumps it out in front just over the stick of Ben as he was looking to pull the trigger. He was in a pretty good scoring spot there.
Was he ever? And just tons of ice in front of him. Miscued on the pass.
Goligoski lost an edge, played around it, just avoiding Kessler was Klingberg, who just got out of the way of number 17. Now it comes up the boards. It's held in at the line by Manson, who sends it back around on the far side. Klingberg there again, able to work it along. Sharp got a stick on it. It comes back out to the high slot. Hampus Lindholm with it now. He'll make a move along the near boards and dump it back in behind the Dallas net. Chip back up the near side, and Jamie Benn has it. Onto the stick of Patrick Sharp, riding that 12-game point streak. Written off the puck by Lindholm, and that top line for the Stars will head to the bench for their first change. As Lindholm tries to rush it back into the Star zone, it's broken up by Cody Eakin. And he starts it back the other way, putting it in behind Anderson. Around the boards, trying to get there as Roussel. It's picked up by Nichushkin. Tried to work it free in front for Eakin, who was all alone momentarily, but the Ducks work it back the other way as Kevin Bieksa sends it back into the Dallas zone. Jason Demers with it, plays it around the far side. Val Nichushkin playing on a line here with Eakin and Roussel. This puck was held in at the line by the Ducks, but recovered by Oduya. Jason Demers drops it back to his partner on the near side. And it's out to center ice. Intercepted by Vatanen, who hands it off to Bieksa. Into the zone now for Nate Thompson, who dumps it along behind Lettinen. He plays it around the glass. And it comes to Antoine Roussel, who plays it on the far side. And the Ducks captain, Ryan Getzlaf, just steps out of the ice. Hands it back and gets the return from Shea Theodore. Here was Getzlaf across the line, looking for either Perry or Ricard Raquel as the Stars try to clear it. Held in by Theodore. Far side for a 10. And sliding across was Lettinen to make a big stop there on Raquel's one-timer.
Wow, was it ever. A lot of real estate to cover. Made it with facility.
Now it comes for a one-timer here from Theodore, and Lettinen makes the stop. A little contact there from Corey Perry. Jordy Ben, good to see him back in the lineup over there to have something to say to number 10.
Corey Perry did that on purpose. That's a nasty, dirty little play in the aftermath of second save in succession from Kari Lettinen. Stars turn it over in their own zone. They change the point of attack by a lot, and Lettinen comes over like a butterfly. Gets that. There's that attempted obliteration by Kessler on Klingberg, who had lost his stick and his balance. Jamie Benn, I mean, you had 2 guys on one guy. Ben went after Kessler immediately to have words. Kessler would have none of that. They came together on the near side boards, but there could be more to that. Big topic. Other teams going after John Klingberg physically,
yes.
And some of it's on John to get out of the way, and some of it's on other guys to stick up for him.
Well, both happened there. He got out of the way, and Jamie Benn did stick up for him. Urgency for both teams. Anaheim has climbed to within 3 points of a playoff spot in the Pacific Division, and the Stars have been overtaken by Chicago by virtue of the Hawks' 10th straight win earlier tonight in Toronto over the Leafs. As Maroon turns the puck over now, trying to take advantage of that with Travis Mullen, but he's knocked off the puck, and it's backhanded up the near glass and cleared out by Theodore, and Klingberg back to get it. John Klingberg works it ahead to center right, takes a hit from Patrick Maroon, and the puck out of play.
Maroon went way out of his way to follow through on that, and now right at center, Mullen goes over to have words with Patrick Maroon. Let's see if there are any penalties that come out of that. Some of the other delinquent behavior, Corey Perry that last chance, he's standing right in front of the net. He did get cross-checked by Ben, Jordy Ben, right in front, but he is not going to hold himself up at all. Mullen comes over to have a word. He and Maroon get together, and no calls out of that.
Wes McCauley, Tom Cowell are the referees. Brian Mott, Vaughn Rody are the linesmen.
Could have their hands full tonight.
Yes. Pushed ahead now for Ben, who angles it off the boards around Manson. It's picked up now by Jason Demers, who tried to backhand it in front. Here's Ben picking it up below the goal line, sends it out. Sagan for a shot, a right pad saved by Anderson. Laid off the glass by Manson and out to center ice and picked up now. And worked ahead by Hagelin. He was stopped along the boards. Now Oduya plays it up the near side, but it's all Ducks there out to the line for a blast. Score! Redirected in front after the blast from Manson, and the Ducks have the first goal 3 minutes and 5 seconds in.
Stars captain was upset with himself and immediately just went to the circle at center ice. It's an interchange between Oduya and what should be the winger on that side. Ben was way down low as a left winger. That allowed that point to be wide open. And the drive-by right in front. Quick shot by Manson from distance. Low, hard, typical shot, and Silverberg opens the scoring here tonight. I think, and I asked some guys about this morning, with layoff comes rust. And you can see some of that in their puck distribution in the early going here in their own zone.
Now Silverberg, who had a goal and an assist in the 4-1 win here 2 nights ago over Ottawa, opens the scoring with his 5th of the year. As Anderson behind his net plays it around the far side. Worked out the center ice by the Ducks and picked up by Cogliano. He takes it wide, puts on the brakes. John Horcoff, the former Star, goes to the front of the net. Here's a chance. Button scores! 31 seconds after the Silverberg goal, Botton and the defenseman gets a lot of penetration. It's 2-0.
Oh, he had a welcome, Matt, through the slot in the Stars zone. Cogliano with good speed takes it wide, builds a little time and space. And as Antoine Roussel comes hustling back on the defenseman, it's a forward's responsibility. Roussel was in neutral ice. And he just walked right through that check, the back check by Antoine Roussel. And the Ducks have stunned the Stars with a couple of goals and some chances and some physical play here in the first 3.5 minutes.
So that's Vatanen 6th of the year as Klingberg back deep in his own zone to play it now for Goligoski. A stretch pass attempt bounces off of Corey Perry and it's recovered by Getzlaf. Theodore sends it across. Stoner plays it ahead and Raquel will roll it in behind Lehtonen. Picked up by Goligoski, hands it off for Ales Hemsky. Good to see him back in the lineup. After blocking that shot in Columbus after Christmas, here is Hemsky trying to make a play. Knocked off his stick. He tries to knock it away from Raquel, who recovers on the far side. Backhands to Getzlaf. Sends it ahead now for Theodore, who's playing in just his 9th NHL game. Scored his first NHL goal in that win over Ottawa the other night.
He's up because of the injury to Cam Fowler, and he has been missed in the Ducks lineup.
Icing the call here and a face-off back in the Dallas zone. Cogliano and Thompson got the assist for Bruce Boudreau's club that takes a quick 2-0 lead.
Well, he survived the Ducks' shockingly poor first half, and he's broken down the final 40 games into 10-game segments. They need to go 6-3-1 4 times to give them 95 points, and they're hoping that gets them a playoff spot at the end of the regular season.
Face-off to the right of Lehtonen. Controlled by the Stars. Goligoski will play it around to center ice. And recovered by Manson, who plays it ahead for Kessler. Knocked away by Sagan. Sagan and Kessler give each other...
Well, they've had quite a joust going every time they've come together on a face-off.
Now here's Silverberg with it. Looks back toward the line, tried to dump it back to the front of the Stars net. Picked up by Kessler, wrapped around behind the net. Oduya stepped into his man. That was Hagelin. Now the two of them together again. Here is Oduya spinning away. Gets a little separation, hands it off to Demers. Ahead now for Ben, trying to step around the attempted check from Kessler right in front of the Ducks bench. Anaheim getting control. A stick comes up in the face of Tyler Sagan, and it looks like Carl Hagelin going to be called for interference here.
it's been like a gauntlet for Sagan to battle through with a hard matchup of Hagelin, Kessler, and Silverberg out against the Stars trio of Ben, Sagan, and Sharp. And it looks like he's okay giving it back to Kessler a little bit here. You know, Ryan Kessler's trying to play the bully. He's done that throughout his career in Vancouver and now here in SoCal. So Sagan gets away from Kessler coming after him, and then Hagelin interferes with him through the head, got him on the power play.
The third-ranked power play for the Dallas Stars that has been cold of late. The top-ranked penalty kill for the Anaheim Ducks that has been terrific of late. And the Ducks win the draw to start their penalty kill and get it all the way back down the ice.
Well, that's a huge part of why their penalty killing is so good. They have good face-off guys led by Ryan Kessler. Start with the puck. They block a lot of shots, and they put heat on the power play up ice.
Back to the point for Demers. He's pressured there, but got it to Fiddler, who wraps it around Anderson, stops it behind the net, plays it around himself, bounces off a couple of sticks. Nobody gets control. It comes out to the line. Demers able to hold it in for Ales Hemsky. Gets it back now to Eaves. A backhand pass on the far side, picked up. Goligoski goes back to Jason Demers. Top of the circle. Let's go the wrist shot on him. Missed it high and wide. Now it comes back out to the line for Goligoski. Straight away. Stick handling right on the line. He kept it in play. It comes back to Goligoski again. Being pressured, changes the angle. Hands it off to Demers. Far side it goes to Hemsky. Ales Hemsky drops it back. Demers a one-timer. Save made by Anderson and a diving keeping of the puck. And it was knocked down at the line by Demers. I thought it was a high stick. Official says no, so play continues. In behind the Anaheim net, though, Vatanen wins a battle for the puck. Doesn't clear the zone. It comes back. Bieksa has it now. He tries to clear it up the far side. It's blocked by Fiddler. Played up the far boards again. It goes over the glove of Horkoff and recovered by Goligoski. Down to 40 seconds left in the Hagelin minor. Now it comes free up the far boards, and Goligoski has it again. Moves it along. Spencer gets spun around. Ducks come up with it. Played up the near boards, and it's held in by Jason Demers. Now it comes to Jamie Benn on the near boards. Benn looking across. Hands it off. Spencer now back to Ben down low. Ben behind the Anaheim net, tried to get it out in front. It was blocked now into the high slot. It's picked up by Demers. Nearly had his pocket picked, and now it is knocked away by Kessler, who's racing back for a shot that's fired wide as Goligoski had the angle on him.
Well, parts of the number 2 power play got stuck out there. The two-point man, Goligoski and Demers, and it almost cost him with an energy deficiency.
Icing here as the penalty to Hagelin expires as the Stars were trying to make a play up the ice. So the Dallas power play produces just one shot on goal.
It's one of those things that what do? You've got pressure and full control on your power play. You're not just going to turn around and change, but they almost get caught. He got into a stick battle with Cogliano. Kessler, who can whistle it off the turnover up ice. And Kari Lehtonen gets a piece of that.
Face-off left of the Dallas goal. Jamie Benn, Ryan Getzlaf, the two captains, and Getzlaf jumped the gun, but they're going to allow him to stay in there. Nope, they're going to kick him out. It will be Raquel to come in to face off against Benn. Stars control out toward the high slot. It's knocked away by the Ducks. Played by Getzlaf on the far side. Rolls it along where Oduya takes a hit from Perry. Now Klingberg getting a stick on that with Getzlaf, but it's recovered by Sharp, who sends it across and out to center ice, and the Ducks dump it right back in. Shots are 5-3 for Anaheim. They have the early 2-0 lead. Klingberg taken down by Getzlaf. No call made as Klingberg lost his stick on that play. Now it's dropped back for Oduya. Plays it around for Klingberg on the far side. Ahead for Val Nichushkin. One hands it in deep behind the Anaheim net. It's played up the far side and recovered now by Lindholm. He sends it across for Josh Manson, who moves up. Hands it off for Raquel, trying to make a move one-on-one there against Jordie Benn. Now it comes to Getzlaf off of his stick. And it's cleared up the near side for Antoine Roussel. And now Yoki Paka plays it ahead for Nichushkin. Knocked away from him, and Cogliano lifts it right back into the Stars zone. Jordie Benn takes a hit there from Thompson. Yoki Paka comes up with a loose puck. Stretch pass attempt there for Eaves. Deflected away. Here's Clayton Stoner with it. Backhands it up the near boards. It bounces to the middle of the ice, and it's picked up by Theodore. Off the stick of Fiddler, recovered by the Stars. Backhanded ahead now for Travis Moen. Stoner steps into him. Theodore back deep in his own zone. Wraps it around hard off the stick of Sakash, and picked up now by Klingberg. Makes a move at the line. Pushes it across for Goligoski. High slot. All the way to the far side. and dumped around behind the Anaheim net up the near side. Patrick Maroon with Goligoski pressuring him, but it gets to Stoner. Now to Santorelli. And Sharp stepped up on him, and the Stars get it back.
You can see, though, even a good chip by the Fiddler line. Tough to get it interior, though. You know, just keep pumping it around the boards. They're going to guard the middle of the ice.
Out to center ice. It's recovered by Demers. Jason Demers now for Oduya. Plays it up the near side. Redirected by Ben. In behind Anderson, who plays it up high on the glass. Hard around. And it gets by everybody back inside the Dallas zone. Oduya for Demers. Off of his stick. It's recovered by Silverberg. Silverberg looking to cut in. Letton reached out with a goal stick. It's still a scramble outside the blue paint. He reaches out with the glove. Covers it up as a lot of pushing and shoving around the Dallas net. And we will step aside. And now to start, the Dallas Stars were looking for a blast by Manson. Redirected by Silverberg at 3:05. 31 seconds later, Vatanen cruises right down the slot. That makes it 2-0.
2-zip Ducks midway through the first period here at Honda Center in the OC. John Klingberg enjoyed the time off, needed it. I asked him today whether it was the physical pounding that was grinding him down, and he said, well, not really. It was more the rest for his mind and getting back to a regular schedule of eating in that he felt would help him the most. But you can see the Ducks here again tonight. Any chance they have when number 3 has the puck, they're heading at him.
Getzlaf on the drop from Benson. A shot from long range, skips wide of Letton up the near boards, and Getzlaf holding it in. Perry high slot, sends it back. It's redirected, and Letton had to make a save on that one.
Boy, Bieksa, the defenseman, was in the slot, and it was his stick that redirected it.
As the puck came back across the Dallas line, the Ducks were offside.
You know, their D are not like the Stars' D, where they get involved all the time offensively or consistently, but they've been involved in both the goals. Vatanen with the goal, Manson with the shot from the point that was deflected. More conversations going on. This is a matchup between two teams that aren't going to meet each other all that much like they did back in the day when they were in the same division. But they did play a playoff series a few years back.
Yeah. Puck rolls all the way back wide of the Anaheim net. Bieksa angles it off the board. Stolen by Egan. Gets it out in front for a chance here for Nichushkin. That bounces off a body and up on the net out of play.
That's what I think both sides are looking to pounce on chances like that.
Just past the halfway mark of this first period. We'll step aside again.
Mid-period, 2-0 Ducks against the Stars here in Anaheim. First period has been their frame against the Stars. And this season, outscored Dallas now 5-0 in the first period. Stars come roaring back. I found it flabbergasting when I looked at the Ducks. They've scored 50 goals from the first intermission on this year. So in the second period, the third period, and overtime, they produced 50 goals. The Stars have scored 108.
It's incredible. Jokipaka, after a Stars face-off win, sends it across. A shot here from Ben, redirected up high and off the near glass. Now jammed up by Cody Eakin, gets it free now for Roussel, who rolls it in toward Anderson, and Roussel trying to get things stirred up around the Anaheim net, much the way the Ducks are trying to do around Kari Lettonen.
This line stays out there on the other side of the TV timeout. They got that chance just prior to that when they read a reverse by Bieksa and the Ducks D, and again, that's how if Dallas is going to convert in the game against a very good defensive team, and they're good, they're 6th in the league in goals against, it's reading some of those plays, being tactical with their forecheck, and then one pass and boom, it's gone. Get ahead of that defensive posture of the Ducks in their own zone, and if they can, get some speed and transition coming out of their own zone and not allow them to get set up.
Fiddler against Getzlaf. Fiddler went down on that one knee drop before the puck was dropped. He's tossed out. So Travis Moen, who won a Stanley Cup with the Ducks here back in 2007, wins the draw. Back to Jordy Beck for a shot that stopped. Chased down by Moen on the far side. He backhands it toward the net. It's cleared away by Theodore. Now Theodore again plays it around behind his own net. Picked up by Stoner up the near side for Perry. And Corey Perry hands it off. Now Theodore right wing side for Getzlaf, who redirects it deep into the Stars zone. Letton plays it along for Jokipaka, now for Eves. He takes a hit as he clears it back out to center ice, and play was whistled down.
I think it might have caught the edge of the Stars bench on its way out of the zone. So, as they pause, I'll remind you that Miller time is coming up later in the game. Brought to you by Pilsner Brewed Miller Lite. Oduya and Ben talking things over. A little miscue early on cost the Stars one of the 2 tallies against. Things seem to have settled a little bit, though, here at mid-period. Ducks came out flying, and they've been very aggressive so far in this game.
Seguin and Kessler on the draw. The Ducks control. Off the near board from Anthem with a shot right through and redirected. Not sure if that got to Kari or what it hit, but it took a strange bounce to the near side. Now it rolls back behind the Dallas net to the far boards. Picked up by Seguin. Hands it off now to Sharp. Sends it to the near side of center ice. Oduya jumps up and dumps it along in behind Anderson. Redirected to the far boards, but the play was whistled down. Almost impossible to hear whistles up here at Honda Center.
Let's see if the Stars can get a little bit more of their dictate game going here. You know, the Ducks conversation was going to be they've been off for a while. We can jump them early before they get their faculties about them. For the Stars, they've done a lot of practicing, and now you get into the competitive physical battles, and maybe it takes a shift or two to get going with that. They didn't want to drop behind 2-0, though, to learn their lesson and get back into this swing of things.
Over by the Stars bench. Spezza drops it back. Goligoski. Back for Klingberg. Right up the middle of the ice. The 5 Ducks are laying back in the neutral zone.
In the middle. I mean, they're just trying to pour everything to the outside where they can use the boards as an ally.
Redirected by Perry, and he tipped it past Klingberg. Then racing to get the puck now is Raquel. Raquel pulls up on the forehand to center the cross. Bouncing puck off the skate of Janmark, and recovered by the Stars, but taken back by Vatanen. Vatanen will send it back in deep. It deflects up on the netting behind Kari and out of play.
Good alert play by Matthias Janmark, who's such a kinetic worker for the Stars in both directions, and seems to be like all those young Swedes. They read the game so well. So he hustles back, even though it looks like they're going to have a set. It just drops anchor, knows where it's probably headed, and make sure that Ryan Getzlaf doesn't get this pass. Good positional defending. And then he's so competitive on the puck when there is a battle for one.
Nate Thompson tossed out of this faceoff to the left of Lettinen. It'll be Sean Horcoff against Cody Eakin. Eakin wins the draw back down for Jason Demers, who moves it quickly up the far side, but the Ducks left defenseman moved up to hold it in.
They're pinching pretty hard with their defense. Stars can expose that.
Cody Eakin back the other way, gets it into the Anaheim zone, takes it wide on Stoner, played around on the near side. Roussel trying to get a stick on it, but it comes free for Horcoff. Hands it off now for Clayton Stoner, who pushes it ahead into the Dallas zone. Jason Demers intercepts a stretch pass the other way. He was trying to get it to Roussel, who was offside on the play. The Stars are making it easy for your child to learn how to skate and play hockey with the Junior Rookies program. Equipment and instruction are free to boys and girls from ages 8 to 12. For more information, visit dallasstars.com/rookies.
Got a new clock here at the Honda Center. It seems brighter in here because of it.
Yeah.
It's better for us for eyeball replays. Still a funky rink, though, it feels.
Yeah, it is. It is different. Face-off to the right of Lenton. Face-off to this point, dead even at 8 apiece. As Fiddler sets up across from Santorelli, and boy, the linesmen have been tossing guys out pretty regularly here. Santorelli replaced in the circle.
I think it's their body, their lower body moving in like that that's getting them dumped out of there.
Stars turn it over. It comes back to the line now. Bieksa far side for a long-range one-timer, and Lettinen with Maroon right in his grill, able to make the stop. On the far side, Vatanen is bumped, and the puck comes center ice, and Travis Moen takes a hit from Maroon in front of the Anaheim bench as the puck rolls in on Frederik Andersen. He holds it there for a face-off in the Anaheim zone, and Fiddler threw a little snow, and he gets a little whack from Bieksa. Travis Moen comes in and has some words with the Anaheim defenseman.
Yes, has a bit of a greasy element to it here tonight. Moen and Bieksa continue on verbally, and you know they're in playoff mode. The Ducks. I mean, these are playoff games for them. If they're going to pull themselves fully out of the hole they built for themselves early on in the season, where they were easily the most disappointing team in the league. A lot of people had them pegged for a Stanley Cup run, and they still might. But they're treating every one of these games now like it's do or die. And again, that 10-game segment that they've broken it down to, allows them to maybe knife and fork this a little more than if they just looked at the daunting task of jumping all the way back into the top 8 in the West.
3 points behind San Jose for third place in the division. San Jose is where the Stars will be tomorrow night. Back-to-back games here in the Pacific Division. Lindholm deep in his own zone for Anaheim. Plays it up the far boards, and racing after it is Silverberg. He had the lead there on Goligoski. That negates the icing. The two 33s come together as the Stars wrap it around the boards. It gets away from Manson, picked up here by Tyler Seguin. Seguin tries to feather a pass through to Sharp, who was covered by Kessler. Kessler tries to clear. Jamie Benn holds it in. Spins away from Hagelin. Now, Benn couldn't get the pass from Klingberg as the Ducks back the other way. And that'll be the end of that shift for the Anaheim group as well as the Stars, as Klingberg with little room to work it ahead now to Alashemsky, who jumps out of the ice. Sends it back in deep. Stoner in there first for the Ducks. Plays it hard around the far side. And it's put to the middle of the ice for Raquel. Across the line, makes a nifty move, comes up with the puck. And he's sandwiched between a couple of Stars, and it's going to be a penalty here against Dallas.
Just looked like they had him fronted and reared, and because the player went down, they make the call on this, I think. Good hustle by Alashemsky to come back when Johnny Oduya was getting twisted defensively. Some slick moves by Raquel, and somewhere within here, they're saying that's tripping, I guess. There's no trip there.
No.
That's just defending. The chance for Seguin and Sharp on their way out of the zone. Manson tried to hold it in on a pinch. Terrific defensive play on the gallop by Brian Kessler. Perfectly timed, skated with Sharp, and then got his stick at the right moment to puck jack him in the slot. Their power play's been much better recently. Everyone talks about their penalty killing, but the Ducks power play's done some damage here.
8 power play goals, Fraser, in their last 9 games.
Perry and Getzlaf are the two go-to guys. Perry with the goals, Getzlaf with the setup.
They got the youngster Theodore out here on one point. His first NHL goal the other night against Ottawa did come on the power play. Getzlaf got the assist after he had been benched for that giveaway that you touched on at the top of the show.
Second time in a row, Fiddler's been booted out for that.
Roussel steps in and wins the draw back to the corner for Oduya, trying to get some room, able to get the puck free, and it's jammed all the way down the ice by Roussel.
Boy, good work by Antoine Roussel. It doesn't take a lot of face-offs to step in like that, win it clean, and then get it all the way down. Kills 20 seconds off this power play.
Bots it in for Raquel up the far side in front of the Dallas bench. Plays it to the far corner. Roussel gets there. Hard around, gets by the stick of Perry, but not the stick of Vatanen out of the line. Here's Corey Perry with again. Pulls it back, pulls the trigger, fires it wide. Now Theodore walks the line, hands it back off to Vatanen, top of the circle, cruising in for a shot pass. He was looking for the stick of Raquel there, I think, as he comes back to the line. Now to the right point, Vatanen again through traffic. Save made by Letton. Rebound was up the side of the net, picked up now by Perry, and he sends it around to the far side. Theodore has it there. Walks to the middle of the ice. His shot blocked by Fiddler, and it goes way up on the netting and out of play.
Pretty good optical joust between Kari Lehtinen and Corey Perry, who drops down right in front of him. I think Kari's probably planting seeds with the official about encroachment from number 10 of the Ducks, who's very good at just staying right on the lip of the crease, take the eyes away from the goaltender, and then he's so good with that long reach and grabbing rebounds. I think that one hit him. Hit Corey Perry right in front on the shaft of the stick and never got through.
Face off to the right of the Dallas net. The Stars control again. Hard around by Goligoski, was blocked by Lindholm. Now Silverberg works it along. Maroon to the far side for Kessler. Quickly out to the point. Taken there by Bieksa. One time around the way from Lindholm. Missed everything and goes off the far boards. Hustling over is Eakin. Kessler keeps it alive for Maroon. Back to Kessler. Middle of the ice now for Lindholm. Tees it up for a shot that sails over the glove. Rebound goes over a couple of Anaheim sticks, but picked up by Kessler on the far side. Hands it off down low for Patrick Maroon. Maroon and Kessler change places now. It goes back to the corner and out to the line. Bieksa with it. Kevin Bieksa straight away. Right-hand shooting defenseman. Far side, hands it off. Down low it comes for a chance. In front, score! Hampus Lindholm set up by Kessler. It is 3-0 Ducks.
The Ducks seem to be able to get a lot of good looks with the right defenseman in this game. 47 Lindholm is the right D this time. His first shot from distance, there's some time and space. He whistles it over top of the net. The next time he comes down on the back door. Great patience by Kessler. A lot of room. The Stars should have been able to close that off as he bobbled it in tight for a second, but he had time, he had space, threads the needle through Jordy Ben, hits the defenseman creeping down the weak side, and they've opened up a 3-0 lead on the Stars here late in the first.
As they did the first time these two teams met back in late October at American Airlines Center. But this has a different feel to it to this point. So Lindholm with his second defenseman scoring in this first period for the Ducks.
And really, 3 defensemen have been instrumental in all 3 goals. Manson's shot was deflected.
That's a centering attempt to flex out to Oduya for a shot that's blocked it. Corey Perry pushes it ahead now with Raquel. It's picked up by Getzlaf trailing the play. He hands it off for a chance, but they score! What a passing play, and it's finished off by Getzlaf, and it's 4-0.
They touched this thing around a little bit. After the bid by the Stars in the attacking zone, shot gets blocked and away they go, and they change the point of attack once, twice, 3 times. Perry going to the net. The kid defensively again, Theodore, gets this pass from Getzlaf, immediately sees the seam with Corey Perry in front, their leading goal scorer. They went through the Stars like a blowtorch through butter. No chance for Kari Lehtinen. Lindy Ruff has called a timeout with 4.5 minutes to go in the opening period as the Stars have been run over here in the first period in Anaheim.
Yeah, pardon me, I said it was Getzlaf. Perry finished it off. Getzlaf made the great pass after he took the feed after Anaheim entered the zone. So Perry, his team-leading 17th goal. So after scoring goals, Razor 31 seconds apart early. They've scored 33 seconds apart late.
A team that, their biggest issue this year has been the goal famine, and it has been real. We documented it coming in. But they have looked like a comfortable offensive team here tonight. They scored 4 the other night, most of them late against Ottawa, and here tonight 4 against the Stars immediately.
Played ahead now and off the stick of Sharp in deep, and Anderson raised his glove hand, thought it might have been icing, but play continues now, and it's taken by Manson in behind his own net. Getzlaf and Theodore on the assist with the Perry 17th goal. As Sharp drops it back for Klingberg. Under 4 minutes remaining here in the first. Goligoski from deep in his own zone. Hands it off on the far side for Klingberg. Pushes it ahead and knocked away by Silverberg and back off the stick of Nichushkin. Lindy Ruff met with the media this morning after the morning skate. He was asked about the concern about the team being rusty. He said that's always a coach's concern. Not that you can blame this all on the layoff because Anaheim's been just terrific. And right back into the Dallas zone. Horkoff drops it back down for Bieksa. Bieksa looks across, hangs on, takes a shot that deflected wide to the far boards. Vatanen at the point holds it in. Shots are 15-7 for the home team. Now pushed along by Cody Eakin. And his stick lifted low, and Cogliano lobbed one back in, letting the save, and a rebound almost came right back at him. Now he does have to face a shot from Thompson and makes the save to keep it at 4-0. Well, on the power play, in close, it was another Anaheim defenseman, Hampus Lindholm, that made it 3-0, and then Corey Perry, after some nifty passing, makes it 4-0.
The latest Duck to score, Corey Perry, his 17 goals on the season now. Better than twice as many as the closest teammate, and all of it's come after that disastrous opening 10-11 games where he didn't find the back of the net. He wasn't alone. They got blanked, it seemed like, nightly. No problem with the flow of their offense tonight.
Face-off win. Theodore shot sails just wide on the stick side of Kari Lehtinen. With the 4 goals tonight, the Ducks 2 games in a row, 4 goals, and there's still time left in this one. And just the 14th time all year they've scored more than 3, but they are starting to find it, Razor, as this will be icing against the Ducks in a face-off back in the Anaheim end.
Yeah, a little bit of confidence. Sometimes you get individuals and a group that gets that going, and they can flow a little bit. And they have the backing of being a very good defensive team now, because that's the way they've had to go about their business. The Stars need to get back to that. They just do not, or have not, looked like a good defensive team here tonight in the first period, and recently on the road. They've really struggled with that part of their game. Their positioning in their own zone, their battles on the puck. It happened in the games in New York, and it's happening here again tonight on the other coast. That's what they wanted to focus on heading into this, to get back to where they were early on when they were an outstanding road team. I mean, it was night after night where they were dropping opponents in their home barns. But it starts with defending well and being really good on special teams, and both of those have not been good in the first period here tonight.
Yeah, it's one thing to fall behind 1 or 2-0. Now down 4-0. They have to open up a little bit. As Patrick Sharp off a set play got a pretty good look and ripped it up too high. Now Klingberg made an Anaheim player miss on a shot from the far side by Sharp is blocked, and it's cleared back out to center ice. Klingberg has it again. Now for Tyler Seguin, who backhands it into the Anaheim zone. Leighton Stoner with Jamie Benn stepping into him. Here's Sharp with it. Sends it back around behind the Anaheim net. Picked up on the near side by Stoner. Benn on him again. Stoner turns back up the near boards. And it's off the stick, and it's back out to center ice. It's deflected off of Goligoski, but Kessler able to drive it back in behind the Dallas goal. Klingberg backs it off the near boards, trying to hit Janmark with it. It went too far. Now backhanded by Lindholm out to center ice. As we're under 2 minutes remaining here in the first period. All Ducks with a 4-0 lead and a 19-7 advantage in shots on goal. As Oduya to center ice now will play it in along the boards behind Anderson. Jumping in on it there is Hemsky. Now the puck picked up and put out in front. And here's a chance wheeling around with Janmark. Hit a skate in front. And the Ducks come up with it.
Just pack it in right in front. It's been tough to get a really good scoring chance on Anderson here in the first period.
Gets slapped across the line for Perry, and that play offside, says Von Rode.
Stars put up a pretty good little gauntlet at their own blue line that time. It was right in front of the net, though, and the Stars thought they could get a loose puck and do something with this here. It's just, there's Getzlaf, the center iceman. There's a winger right in there. Your defenseman's in there. I mean, they had 4 guys almost immediately on that puck right in front of Freddie Anderson, their netminder.
Now the face-off outside the Dallas zone is Nichushkin jousting there with Horcoff for position. The Stars win the draw. Played ahead for Antoine Roussel, who takes it along the goal line, gets the tough angle shot that was stopped by Anderson and cleared by the Ducks back through center ice. Jokipaka back ahead of Cogliano to get it. Now across for Jordy Benn. Plays it out to center ice, bounces off a body, and it's poked ahead by Nate Thompson. Recovered here by Jokipaka, angles it off the end boards. Jordy Benn up the far side, and it's redirected off the boards. And recovered by Jokipaka, who will skate it back out to center ice. Hands it off to Roussel off his stick, rolls in on Anderson, who clears it himself off the far boards. And the Ducks out to center ice with 45 seconds remaining here in the first. Demers out from behind his own net. Right up the middle of the ice with it. Lays it ahead, looking for the stick of Fiddler. Redirects to the near corner. Manson kind of fanned on his clearing attempt. Now Fiddler comes up with a loose puck, wraps it around in front of Anderson, but it's picked up on the near side and cleared by Maroon. And Jason Demers drops it back now for Oduya. Slides it across for Jason Demers. Middle of the ice for Fiddler. Under 20 seconds remaining. Turned over neutral zone. Yuri Sakash had it knocked away by Moen. It comes back to Manson center ice, and he'll hammer it around behind. Letting far side off the skates of Jason Demers. Now Maroon in there heavy on the forecheck. It's knocked away by the Stars. It'll be held in by Lindholm. And time will run out before the Ducks get another shot at the net. But they had plenty of them. 19, and 4 of them went in.
Yeah, they were the better team by a mile, and the more aggressive team physically in that first period too. I'll say this though, that's got to be the worst the Stars are going to play in this post-rest segment of time. A little bit of rust in their game, you could expect that, not this much maybe. And 4-0 leads are tough to sit on for 40 minutes.
We'll see what the next 40 minutes have in store. We have come to the end of the first period here at the start of this 3-game road trip through California. And not starting the way the Dallas Stars had hoped. It's the Anaheim Ducks with a commanding 4-0 lead at the end of 20 minutes of play. Stay with us. Our first intermission activities coming up right after this. The Honda Center in Anaheim, start of 3 games here in California for the Dallas Stars. It is 4-0 after one. Kind of familiar based on the first meeting ranger between these two teams.
They're only down by one more goal tonight than what they were after the first period on October 27th at home. And midway through the game, Patrick Sharp on the power play is first as a Dallas Star. Cody Eakin shorthanded, cut into it. And then before the second period was even done, John Klingberg from Sagan brought him back to even. In the third, Antoine Roussel from Antoine Roussel range banged one home, and the Stars rallied from down 3-0 to beat the Ducks 4-3. Jamie Benn had 3 assists in the game, 2 of them primary. It's going to be a taller task on the road and against that club right now than it was back then when they were really fragile.
Kari Lehtonen stays in goal. For those of you that might have been curious about that with the back-to-back situation and Antti Niemi getting a chance to play for the first time back in San Jose tomorrow night, may have something to do with a little longer fuse for Coach Rupp.
That and goaltending, the last of their issues in that first period.
Good point.
They got run over pretty good. They got physically taken it too, and defensively, I mean, especially their decor, they did not play very well in front of Kari Lehtonen.
So the Stars moving left to right here in period number 2 as Sagan and Kessler at center ice. Sagan controls the draw. And Goligoski puts it to the far corner. Hampus Lindholm back there. Sharp steps into him as it comes around the boards on the near side. And rolls out the center ice where Kessler gets it into the zone, sends it in front. It's knocked away and out the center ice. And a penalty right off the bat here against the Stars for holding.
What's McCauley with this one? Alex Goligoski got chasing back to his own net, and I'm not saying things aren't what they should be, but I think Kessler had a pretty good grip on Goligoski. That one was as if he is the one back in the first period. He reaches out with his hand. That should not be a call. And it was costly. That first period went from bad to severely worse on the penalty to Hemsky.
And that was after the Stars had a power play chance of their own that they failed to capitalize on. The penalty kill for the Stars. They win the draw, get it out to center ice. Now picked up by Fiddler in front of the Dallas bench, and he wraps it around behind the Anaheim goal. Anderson settles it down there. And Vatanov from behind his own net. Plays it ahead now for Raquel. Gets it into the zone for Getzlaf. He's challenged, but manages to keep a hold of the puck. Now gets it high slot, redirected out to Theodore, who drops it back for Getzlaf. Across for Theodore. Hands it off down low on the far side. And pass across intended for Getzlaf, just chipped away from him. And Eakin sends it across now for Jamie Benn, shorthanded into the zone. Takes it wide, protects against Theodore. Then Getzlaf comes over on him. And now the puck skated out of there by Shea Theodore, who hands it off for Corey Perry. Pulls up in the neutral zone, sends it across, intercepted, pushed ahead. A breakaway chance here for Janmark. He scores! Mattias Janmark, shorthanded a minute 15 seconds into the second period. That's exactly what the Dallas Stars needed.
Will Corey Perry get benched now?
Pretty blatant turnover.
Spit this one up in neutral ice. We're going to look one way, and I don't know what he was looking at. Was Janmark on side? That's the other question. He was fleet-footedly scampering into the zone when Moen hit him with the lead pass. They're not going to look at it. This is the tough period. If you don't see it with your video guy in the room, you can't see it with your naked eye because the blue line's at the other end.
So the power play continues here for the Ducks. 50 seconds still remaining in the Goligoski holding call. Puck on 3, picked up by Kessler, cutting in. And a save made by Lehtonen, and then Kessler letting everybody know that the puck did deflect over the glass and out of play.
He's played a pretty good game tonight. Ryan Kessler looks locked into things. grabs this thing. It's up on Ann and he rips it. That didn't deflect off anybody. It didn't look like. Go back to that play. The turnover by Perry, picked off by Moen. That back skate, if it's up off the ice, they got away with one.
That's close. Now Silverberg with it. Top of the circle with a shot. Off the side of the net and letting it right pad there as well. Now on the far side, Lindholm wrapped up by Roussel. Oduya comes up with a puck for Demers, who finds it off the short glass and all the way back into the Anaheim zone. Kevin Bieksa right up the middle of the ice on the far side, does not connect there with Silverberg, and that should be icing. It will be in the faceoff back into the Anaheim zone.
This has turned into a good penalty for the Stars to take it early in the second period. They score shorthanded. It's taken some of the momentum out of the Ducks game overall. It gives them an immediate feeling that, you know, this is doable here again tonight. Just pick away at it, get a shorty to answer the power play goal that the Ducks scored back in the first, draw to within 3.
Face-off controlled by the Ducks. Kessler behind his own net. Forced back by Sharp. Final seconds of the Goligoski penalty. Bieksa hands it off. And Silverberg backhands it off the near boards and recovered by Sharp. Goligoski out of the box. He'll hustle across and be replaced by Thomas. Taking a giveaway here and fired up just over top of the glove of Lettinen by Silverberg. Another chance for Silverberg and another opportunity finally covered up by Kari Lettinen. Wow.
Well, Jason Demers playing his 400th NHL game and 100th as a Dallas Star, gifted a puck and then lost a puck battle from good to good. Tries to get that. The puck might have bounced on him a little bit as he got pounced upon. And then in the aftermath of the initial shot wide of the net, kind of a freaky rebound over top of the net, trampolined off the top of it and got into a stick fight and lost that one and Lettinen to the rescue.
Face off to the right of Lettinen. Contested along the near boards. Thompson out to the line. Vatanen with it. Backs up and now rolls it along the end board. Picked up on the far side, Cogliano. Hands it off to Horcoff. Horcoff walks up the far boards. Backhands it to the corner. Spencer rolls it back behind his own net. Moved around on the near side for Hemke. He sweeps it down the ice. It'll roll in wide of the Anaheim goal, and that'll be icing against Dallas.
Nice to see Ales Hemke back in here tonight. The Stars record sort of stated that he might be an MVP category. He went out of the lineup and they struggled to win. It was a good shot block, nicely executed by him when we were in Columbus. And he bled interior. They had to suck some blood out of the spot, get his rotation and his mobility back in there, and then just get fully healed to get back in the lineup.
Getzlaf intercepts center ice for Raquel. Raquel able to avoid most of that attempted hip check by Goligoski. Now Klingberg will wrap it around. It's stopped by Corey Perry, but picked up and lifted out to center ice by Hemke. Knocked down by Spezza, recovered by Lindholm. He sends it across. Here's Raquel with it across the line. Raquel with a shot pass to the front of the net, comes all the way to the near boards. Ryan Getzlaf with it now. Up the near boards, it's blocked by Hemke. He spins one way, then the other. The puck recovered, though, by Raquel. He goes middle of the ice. It bounces out off the stick of Getzlaf. And Hemke starts it back the other way, fights off a check. Works into the zone with Spezza. Good poke check there by Lindholm. As the Stars look like they might be working in for a good scoring chance. Now the puck sent all the way back down into the Stars zone.
That was a good read by the young defenseman. As soon as Hemke was late in the shift, you could tell that the energy wasn't quite there as they go offside here. As soon as he dropped his eyes a little bit, he pounced on him with that poke check.
Time for you to tweet your Papa John's Better Fan photo. Be the 25th person to tweet your photo to @FoxSportsSW. Use the hashtag BetterFanPhoto promotion, and you can be on a future broadcast. Receive a $25 gift card from Papa John's Pizza.
If you're wondering, the only other time the Stars have given up 3 or more goals in the first period on the road was in Columbus in that game. So that's twice in the last 5 road games they've been down.
Yes. Ducks up the boards on the near side. It gets by Jordy Ben racing after it is Seguin. He's got Kessler right on him. The puck recovered by Silverberg. Poked away momentarily by Yoki. Pocket recovered by Silverberg. Gets a shot away. Deflected by Letton. It came off the active end boards. Recovered now by Sharp. He sends it ahead for Jamie Benn. And Karam's off the boards right in on Anderson, who covers it there as Jamie puts on the brakes in front of the Anaheim goal.
Yeah, look at Marmaduke didn't like the snow shower in there. As Ben put the binders on and threw a pretty good flurry up into the grill of Frederik Andersen. Only his 5th start in 7 weeks. An injury and the play of fine young American netminder Gibson. That usually draws the ire of the other side. They got to play a little bit that way, though. They have to have a prickly side to their game against this Ducks crew.
Ducks winless draw in their own zone, though, as it's picked up and cleared by Horkoff. Back the other way for Thompson, who backhands it along the boards, letting it out to play it high up the glass. Blocked by Thompson on the far side. Tries to work it out to the point. It was blocked along the boards by Nichushkin. Sent back to the near boards. Jason Demers is there, and he has the puck. Sends it across for Oduya. Oduya up the left wing side. Nichushkin into the zone now with Roussel. Getting in on the forecheck against Clayton Stoner. Now the puck recovered by Thompson. He backhands it all the way across for Horkoff on the left wing side. Sends it back over the stick of Cogliano, and that group heading to the bench at a change. And the Stars will make a change as well as Klingberg out of his own zone. Wristing it along in behind the Anaheim net up the far board. Patrick Maroon gets to it quickly. Middle of the ice for Lindholm, who has one of the 4 Anaheim goals across the line. That play is offside.
One thing it feels like the Ducks have been able to do to the Stars is get them spread out a little bit. The puck support of Anaheim has been better than it has been for the Stars, both with their defending and with their attacking game. They really haven't attacked all that much in this game. One turnover shorthanded, that's their tally. They've had a tough time spending any time in the Anaheim zone.
Fiddler won the draw from Santorelli, and Klingberg from his own zone plays it ahead. It goes all the way down behind the Anaheim goal. That'll be icing and a face-off back in the Dallas end.
Got to find a way to just chip away. Klingberg didn't like that call. Thought somebody had touched onto it. When you just go about your business, don't give up another one. That's if you're going to have any chance here tonight. Kari's going to have to make saves. They're going to have to stop the Ducks at 4. They can score. They know that. They'll probably get better as this game moves along.
Face-off controlled by Fiddler. Klingberg. Goligoski wraps it around on the far side. It bounces off of Moen, picked up now and recovered, taken back by Moen, away from Sakash, and back through the neutral zone. Fiddler drops it back. Klingberg with a quick shot that's deflected up on the netting and out of play.
That's better defending, support defending in their own zone. This line's actually been pretty good tonight. Moen, Patrick Eaves, and Vern Fiddler in the middle. So off of a face-off win, they come with their forecheck. Stars trying to get through that, go around the boards, which the Ducks want, but there's 3 guys right around the puck. Travis Moen comes up with it, and away they go in transition out of their own zone. It's good work by the 3 of them.
So the Seguin line, Kessler line matchup once again with a face-off to the left of the Anaheim goal. 4-1 Ducks lead. Shorthanded goal by Janmark. Getting the Stars on the board here in the second period. Clearing attempt hit the lineman. Played along by Sharp. He took a high stick. Did the official see it? Yes, the official at center ice did. And Manson's going to go. And another opportunity, Razor, for this Dallas power play to change the momentum within a game.
Used to be just about every shift for the old man. Stick up high.
Yeah, that's right.
Abuse people. The great Dave Manson. What a good guy. A little cup of coffee with the Stars, too. A little body belt along the boards and nailed Sharp up in the chin or facial area. So, yeah, I mean, special teams can just completely rearrange the direction of this game here in the second period.
Face-off control by the Stars. Over for a one-timer that's misfired by Seguin. He checks the stick as Spezza sends it back around to Seguin on the far side. It hit a stanchion, though. Now Sharp moves it along and gets it to Seguin. Up high on the far side. He skates it down to the hash marks. Looks out toward the line. Looks to the middle. Takes a shot. Save made by Anderson. Sharp moves it back to Seguin on the far side. Now it goes to Ben. Quickly out to the line. Here's Klingberg with it. Hands it off now to Spezza. Far side for Seguin. Tees it up for a shot. Save Anderson. Didn't control the rebound completely. As the Ducks clear it around, it'll be held in by Klingberg. Winds up, sends it toward the net. It was blocked in front by Vatanen. Struggles, but gets some help from Silfverberg, and the Ducks able to clear it.
Boy, that's the chance you don't usually get, and especially against the Ducks penalty kill, where you get it just past those sticks in the high slot to your one-timer guy on the far side in Tyler Seguin. Good stop by Anderson.
Klingberg drops it back. Ales Hemsky as the second power play unit comes out now for the Stars. Just about 7 minutes gone by here in the second period. A 3-goal deficit, 4-1 in favor of Anaheim as Cogliano sends a loose puck all the way back into the Stars' end. Lettinen comes out to settle it down for Goligoski. He comes out from behind the Dallas net up the middle of the ice. Hands it off now for Patrick Eaves to flex off him in deep. Hemsky trying to get there ahead of Bieksa. Now Patrick Eaves knocked down, and Hagelin able to backhand it down the ice.
Some hard, manly penalty killing on the outskirts of the rink there from Stoner.
25 seconds remaining in the Manson penalty. Goligoski hands it off to Hemsky. He'll put it in deep. Anderson quickly bounces around to play it around the boards. It'll be taken by Jason Demers. Across for Goligoski. Back to Demers straight away. Winds up. Didn't have a shooting lane. Goes back to Goligoski. Again across for Demers. He has to chase this one, and his shot is blocked, and now it's picked off. And the Ducks failed to clear it first time. Second effort, they do get it away. And it comes down where Lettinen plays it before Kessler could get there. And it bounces out to the line. Recovered now by the Ducks. Picked up by Kessler. He goes down. Crowd looking for a call. Nothing coming. And it's cleared by the Stars back out to center ice. So a successful penalty kill again for the Ducks, who lead the National Hockey League in that category.
They look every bit the #1 penalty kill in the league tonight.
Vatanen plays it around the far side. Jumps over a couple of sticks. Picked up and centering pass. Getzlaf. It comes back down to Lindholm. Top of the circle shot. That hit the iron. Red light went out, but the official said no goal and hit the post. It looked like to the left of Lettinen. Now Raquel will play it along back behind the Dallas goal. Up the near side. Lindholm has it again. He'll tee it up. Kind of misfired. May have broken the stick on the shot. It trickles in. And Lettinen will cover up with 11:25 remaining in the second period. Early on, Matthias Janmark, who led all rookies in goal scoring in the month of December, gets a shorthanded tally to get the Stars on the board.
Ducks captain Ryan Getzlaf's a big, bargy playmaker, and on that last shift, ultimately set up Hampus Lindholm almost for his second of the game. Around the boards, comes down, beats Goligoski there, gets the puck interior, little nudge back to the defenseman to create that chance, and Lindholm just sizzled this. Top of the circle, through some bodies. Lettinen scrambled to get out there, and after it gets screened by Corey Perry and bumped a little bit, and it rattled off the pipe.
Jordy Ben. Tyler Seguin off the wall, but too hard, and it was picked off by Silfverberg, and his long-range shot into the glove of Lettinen as Jordy Ben and Kessler jostled a bit.
Wow, that did not work out very well as far as an exit is concerned. Trying to use geometry and they had the right idea and get away from any kind of pressure, but it just about blew up straight in Tyler Seguin's face.
Face off to the right of Lettinen. It'll be Seguin and Kessler. Kessler wins it cleanly. Back to Lindholm with a shot that's blocked, picked up by Kessler. A shot. He fires it just wide. Silfverberg on the far side. Back to the line. Manson rolls it back along in deep. Now Hagelin reaches in, tries to spin quickly off of Tyler Seguin in the corner. Now Hagelin has it again. The former New York Ranger hit hard along the boards there by Jokipakka. The puck comes free. And Patrick Sharp. Outlet pass for Jokipakka, gets center ice and puts it deep into the Anaheim zone. Around on the near side, Lindholm with Jamie Benn leaning on him. Manson with it. Far side. And now the Ducks just work it out through center ice. It'll be chased down on the near boards by Jason Demers. Middle of the ice now for Patrick Sharp. Skates it into the Anaheim end. Dumps it into the far corner. Spezza is there as the Stars have started the line chain. Off the stick of Spezza. Held in at the line by Oduya. Reaching back, though, is Getzlaf to recover for the Ducks. Now the Stars will complete their change as we approach the halfway mark of this second period. Short-handed goal by Matthias Janmark. The only tally so far in this middle stanza. 4-1 Anaheim lead as Perry across on the far side for Raquel. Trying to spin off the check of Janmark. Now it comes to Getzlaf. He's checked by Hemsky, but gets it back free for Perry in front. Boy, that trio has worked the puck well a couple of times tonight. Now it comes back to Perry again. Little toe drag move on the angle. He tried to fire it high short side and missed the net. And it bounces away from Botten. And here is Janmark with it. Up against Bieksa. Tried to drop it back. Didn't work out. Hemsky catches up to it. But then as he tried to make a play along the board, kind of fanned on it. And Getzlaf able to clear it back toward the Dallas end of the ice. And Goligoski sends it right back down for icing.
If they have designs on getting all the way back here tonight, they're going to have to up their win quotient on puck battles, because that essentially whenever there's just a 50-50 on a puck, a lot of times it's a duck that's coming up with the puck and then they're doing things with it. And it's a big reason why the Stars have not been able to really jumpstart their attack here tonight. They're not gaining full control with those battles for the puck at its inception, and then away they go.
That was one of the other areas that Lindy talked about this morning too, with the layoff, is the puck battles. And you know it's going to be tough against this team that likes to play a heavy game. But Ducks control the draw. Theodore plays it along behind the Dallas net. Recovered now by Klingberg, but then he overskates, spins away to try to contest Santorelli. Santorelli still has it, hands it off for a quick shot here by Theodore, who jumped into the play. Didn't get everything on the shot. Go force Lettinen to make the save. With Spencer back into his own zone. Hands it off for Klingberg. Moves away from Santorelli and now flips it up the far side and out to center ice. Taken there by Ales Hemsky. Hemsky rolls it in deep along the boards in behind Anderson. Recovered by the Ducks there. And the outlet pass comes to Clayton Stoner, who moves it ahead center ice for Patrick Maroon. Backhands it across. It went over the stick of Santorelli. Now Goligoski deep in his own zone. Makes the play to Klingberg. Klingberg thought about a pass. Hangs out, and now instead it's redirected by Moen into the middle of the ice, but the play ruled offside at the Anaheim line. Under 9 minutes remaining here in the second period. The long layoff seemed to take its toll on the Stars in the first period. I think this settles down a bit here in the second. It's a 3-goal deficit, though, facing Dallas on the road.
Honda Center in the heart of the Pacific Division, I guess you'd call it. Been bumbleating here tonight. The Central Division, where the Stars reside, and for most of the first half of the season had the best stock in it, has hit a bit of a bump outside of the defending Stanley Cup champion Blackhawks, who won their 10th in a row in Toronto tonight. Everybody else, though, the Blues, the Stars, the Wild, the Avalanche have won a little bit. The Predators have hit a rough spot, and the Jets have just moved themselves one game over 500, if you want to look at it that way. So everybody's kind of in this muck right now in the Central and trying to get their act fully back together. Early on in the season, when you looked at the top 10 teams in the NHL, it was just littered with Central Division teams.
Right. Jordy Benn gets it into the Ducks zone. Clayton Stoner pressured there by Fiddler, but able to work it out to center ice. Now Jordy Benn takes a hit from Sakash as the puck is jammed up along the board between the Dallas blue line and center ice line. Still trying to get it free. Maroon and Eves had it pinned along the wall. Now the Ducks fire it back in wide of the Dallas goal. Lettinen plays it to the near side. Recovered by Maroon, who sends it back in deep. Santorelli turns with it, hands it back out to the right point. Theodore walks the line with it. His shot deflects to the near boards. His partner Stoner moves it to the corner. Jordy Benn takes a hit there as the puck comes free, and Jokipaka skates it out. Right wing side for Eves. Off his stick, rolls right in on Frederik Andersen, who plays it himself out to center ice for Maroon, who doesn't handle it cleanly. Jason Demers now trying to find Antoine Roussel. That play was whistled offside.
Stars were trying to get a change in at their own bench, and guys were slow getting off, and because of that, that goes offside. You just see the difficulty Dallas is having in transferring the puck from defensemen to forwards cleanly and getting, I mean, that's a massive part of their overall game. They're not playing very well. The Ducks have a lead, and they're any good defensive team that has some veterans within their lineup is going to be able to just try to milk this along, and that's what it looks like the Ducks are trying to do.
Thompson wins the draw. Back into the Duck zone. It's worked to center ice for Horcoff as Demers stepped up on him. Cogliano contested at the line. It's turned back the other way. Here's Nichushkin trying to walk in on Botten. Moves to the outside, turns to his forehand on the near boards, out to Demers with a shot that's deflected wide. Picked up off the inboards and sent right across in front by Roussel. And now a shot by Oduya is blocked by Cogliano. Sent back in deep, recovered by Cody Eakin. Eakin walks it up the wall, able to backhand it across. Here's Demers, fires it in wide. Now Bieksa plays it off the inboards. Chip to the far side where Roussel and Nichushkin were there for the Stars. Now Roussel backhands it, looking the high slot for Eakin, but the Ducks had that well covered. And Vatanen just backhands the center ice. Knocked away by Demers, and the Ducks back in their own zone have it again.
Just think of the times that Dallas has had the puck with the scoring opportunity in the middle of the ice in the Duck zone in the game. Other than the breakaway short-handed by Janmark, that might be the only one.
Now the puck skips back into the Anaheim zone. Manson back to get it. Off the boards now, and it's played by Hagelin. Back toward the Dallas end. Recovered by Goligoski for Klingberg. Klingberg plays it ahead. It's redirected by Sharp. Along the boards, Anderson plays it back up the near side. Sharp was there to block it. He sends it back in deep. Manson plays it around on the far side. Goligoski and Seguin there. So is Hagelin for the Ducks. They battle along the far boards. Puck comes free. Manson now contested by both Sharp and Seguin. Hagelin jumps into the fray as well as the puck comes free to Hampus Lindholm. He'll skate it out from behind his net. Missed on the pass attempt there for Kessler, so this will be icing against the Ducks. DallasStars.com is your one-stop shop for Stars highlights, game recaps, and tickets, plus our partnership with Ticketmaster gives you the ability to view tickets from the team and the secondary market all at once. Choose the very best location for you and ensure your tickets are verified by Ticketmaster at DallasStars.com.
Chance here. The Ducks can't change on the icing. Jason Spezza with the... Somehow they did get a change in because Getzlaf came out. Was there something wrong with Kessler?
Face-off controlled by the Ducks. Not sure how that all happened.
No.
And Lindholm now from behind his own net surveys the situation. Plays it off the near boards. Redirected by Hagelin just into the Dallas end of the ice. And Janmark quickly got it to Jokipaka. He drops it back for the lone Dallas score to this point. Janmark gets the return from Spezza, but that didn't work out. And Raquel, center ice, hands it back down to Corey Perry. Into the Star zone, Perry. Trying to work it back in front, intercepted by Spezza. He drops it back to the near corner, deep in the Dallas zone for Jordy Ben. Sweeps it back along now for Oduya. Long stretch pass attempt, found its way to Spezza. He drops it back. Here comes Janmark into the Anaheim zone. Takes it wide on the backhand and put it up high on Anderson. Forced him to make a save. Spezza out to the line. Now it comes across for Jason Demers through traffic and just wide on the far side of Frederik Andersen. Skips away from Oduya and ends up in the Dallas bench and out of play. 5:15 remaining here in the second period. Things have settled down after that early shorthanded goal here in the second by Janmark. It remains 4-1 Ducks.
Well, the Ducks are being the Ducks right now. They've been a good defensive team. They've been pretty stingy lately. Goals against in the the mid 1.5 range. Their penalty killing, we've seen that tonight. They've squashed both of the Stars' opportunities, and Freddie Andersen hasn't had much to do. The Stars have 10 shots in the first 35 minutes of this game.
In fact, that penalty kill on the Manson minor penalty was the 33rd consecutive kill for the Ducks, which I believe is a franchise record, and that is a big reason for their turnaround and getting back into the playoff race in the West. Patrick Eaves along the near boards, sends it out to center ice. It's backhanded by Travis Mullen in deep. Puts a hit on Theodore, then Eaves with a hit up the exit. Puck comes free for Fittler. Couldn't handle it cleanly. It's out in front of the Anaheim goal, but the Ducks able to recover. And Stoner plays it ahead now off the stick of Maroon and Santorelli, and recovered now by Roussel. Moves back into the Anaheim end with a shot. Right pass saved by Anderson. Now Theodore plays it around on the near side. Maroon is there, middle of the ice. Off the stick of Santorelli, but he recovers to get it to Andrew Cogliano, who plays it back into the Dallas zone. Under 4.5 remaining here in the second period. It's a 4-1 Anaheim lead. Stretch pass for Roussel. Vatanen on him. Vatanen gets position and plays it around on the far side. Nichushkin blocks it for the Stars. Val Nichushkin with it now. In the corner, trying to spin away from Vatanen. Does. Has it on the backhand, and now it's picked off by Thompson. Comes right back to Nichushkin for a shot that's knocked out in front and cleared by the Ducks to the near board. Here's Klingberg with it. He takes it deep. Klingberg fakes the centering pass. Moves it deeper along the end board. Goes down with some pressure there from Bieksa. Now Bieksa plays it around in the far corner. Nichushkin gets there. Horkoff is out on the ice. He does not have a stick. It comes back down to the line. Seguin drops it back. Klingberg with a shot and a save by Anderson. Goligoski has it again. Best sustained pressure maybe in the game here for the Dallas Stars. Out high, it's taken by Roussel. High slot for Seguin with a chance on a right shoulder save by Anderson. And Cogliano flips it back and softly into the Dallas zone, so there won't be any icing. Cleared back the other way now is Seguin trying to get free from Hagelin. Could not. Hampus Lindholm with it now. Sends it back the other way for Kessler. Redirects for Cogliano. He enters the Dallas zone and puts it along the end board. Now it is picked up and controlled by the Stars. Klingberg flips it ahead for Patrick Sharp. Sharp trying to chase it down. Lindholm on him. Up the near boards. Here's Jamie Benn with it. Working against Carl Hagelin. Benn able to get it out to his brother Jordy, who sends it on the far side now for Yoki Paka. Off the end boards and picked up by Lindholm, who plays it around, and it is blocked at the right point by Jordy Benn. Recovered by the Ducks and cleared back the other way with under 3 minutes remaining here in period number 2. Jordy Benn now on the far side. Janmark moves it ahead. It deflects to the near side of the Duck zone. A long-range shot by Spezza sails wide, and it's cleared by Getzlaf and picked up by Raquel, who hands it off now for Silverberg. His shot blocked to the far corner. Picked up by Getzlaf on the far boards. Able to try to set up Raquel, but anticipated it. Picked off by Spezza. Hands it off on the far side for Janmark. Back for Spezza, cutting in. Spezza along the end board takes a hit. Stick is broken out of his hands. He looks at the referee looking for a call. There's nothing coming. Now it comes to Oduya. Spezza trying to get to the bench for a new stick. He has one as the puck is still deep in the Anaheim zone. Now Bieksa plays it along. And Theodore hands it off for the Anaheim captain, Ryan Getzlaf, who backhands it deep into the Dallas end of the ice as we hit 2 minutes remaining here in the second period. Jason Demers for Patrick Eaves. Hands it off for Travis Moen. Puts it in deep, races after it. Manson puts on the brakes. Moen runs into him. Santorelli is in there. So is Fiddler, who digs it free for Demers. Sweeps it right back toward the Anaheim net. It was blocked in the near circle. And backhanded by the Ducks through center ice and back into the Dallas zone. And they're going to call that icing. That's a generous call.
That was good work by Ed's veteran. Shake your head, swing your arms from Johnny Oduya. All started with some passionate forechecking and a little bit of speed from Cody Eakin and Antoine Roussel earlier. And the follow-up to that, Seguin out there, Klingberg with a long drifter, and Anderson spits that one to the corner. They had him chasing a little bit, and they had the Ducks in trouble for the first time here tonight because Horcoff had lost his stick. They were down sort of half a man, and the Stars able to at least test Anderson a little bit here in the late stages of the second period.
Face-off controlled by Seguin out to Klingberg. Sends it along in behind the Anaheim net. Jamie Benn with it. Benn drops it back on the cycle. Seguin shot blocked in front of the blue paint. It's cleared by the Ducks back down the ice. Will this go far enough for icing? It will not. And Klingberg picks it up.
Well, these Ducks do not abort their inside position when the Stars have the puck. Unbelievable. Just pack it in that low slot area.
Hansen plays it around the far side. Kessler chips it. It's picked up by Silverberg. He races back into the Dallas zone. Puts on the brakes. Winds up. Drives the shot too high over the glove of Kari Lehtonen. Kessler moves it back along the end boards. Hagelin has it there. Able to feed it out to the right point. Bieksa tees it up for a drive, and that's steered to the near boards by Lehtonen with a blocker.
Well, there have been some open guys on these point shots by the Ducks, too, right in front of the Stars' net, unable to get them sealed off or underneath some sticks.
Stretch pass intended there for Roussel. Doesn't connect, and this is going to be an icing call. Face-off going all the way back into the Dallas end. Razor 36 seconds remaining.
Well, here's just a quick example of what the Stars are up against with all these black jerseys interior. Stars are trying to work a cycle. Vatanen never leaves his spot. Manson, both defensemen are within a stick length of their netminder. Everything interior is being guarded. And it's why the Stars have had a tough time getting in there and getting good chances.
Face-off controlled by the Ducks. It comes out to Lindholm. Hammers a shot. Save made. Rebound chance. And that was steered aside by Lehtonen near boards. The Ducks, Cogliano jumps out of it. Rolls it along the board now for Nate Thompson. Now on the far side, it's worked out to the line by Horcoff, and Bieksa didn't have a shooting lane, just dumps it in deep. Here's Thompson with it. 17 seconds left in the period. Gets it out high slot. Lindholm will hit a post earlier. This shot, though, is knocked up in the air and cleared with a high stick by the Stars, but touched next by Anaheim, so play continues. As Horcoff with it now in the near corner. Just a couple of seconds remaining in the period, and Cogliano shoots just as the horn goes. To end the middle 20 minutes, not a busy one for either goaltender.
Well, they won the second period. If their goal was to win the middle frame, they did. They're going to need more than that and more of that in the third. They score the only goal in the middle frame, the shorty for Janmark, but it is tough sledding down there.
Jamie Benn and the Stars fell behind early. A couple of goals close together early in the first, and a couple of goals late in the first made it 4-0 in this breakaway by Janmark. 4-1 is our score. Back here at Honda Center, first of back-to-back games as the Stars will be up in San Jose tomorrow night before wrapping up this trip Tuesday in L.A. Dave Strader back along with Daryl Ray. 4-1 Ducks. Razor heading into the third, and the transition game, a hallmark of the Stars, has not existed here so far.
No, it hasn't. They might have, 5, maybe 6 scoring chances in the game, and they've had difficulty with the puck coming out of their own zone to come out together, make tape-to-tape passes, build their speed coming up the ice. They've turned pucks over a little bit. At times they've just miscued with the puck itself, or they've hit forwards who've either been covered or have been forced to go offside. It just hasn't been crisp and clean. You know, some of that is, I think, to be expected when you've had time off and you got to hit the ground against a team that's been in battle form for a while. So some of the top-end guys, this is always a good matchup when these two teams face off against one another. The duo of Benn and Sagan and Perry and Getzlaf. Very similar. Tonight it's been mostly production from the Duck side of things, obviously. Perry with a goal, also a giveaway, and a pretty helper from Getzlaf, who's been strong in other areas. Benn and Sagan trying to get unclogged with their offense, especially on the road here once again, and it's proved tough. The shots in that second period were 7-6 for the Ducks. That's the type of period it was.
So the Stars moving right to left here in the third, down 4-1. They struck early, actually, while shorthanded on that Mattias Janmark shorthanded tally.
They have to be feeling better as this game goes along as far as their legs and back into competition again. They just looked out of sorts early on and couldn't get up to speed before it was 4-0.
Eakin wins the draw from Thompson. Nichushkin sweeps it in wide of the Anaheim goal. Watson in with pressure from Nichushkin, comes out to Klingberg. He'll sweep a shot. It's into the glove of Frederik Andersen, who holds it there.
And good first shift, right idea. Big Val just shoves it in deep, get it in behind their D and go after them. See if you can get them spread out a little bit, win those battles, win those pucks, utilize your points. Good support that time. All three guys were around the puck, but relatively harmless shot from distance gobbled up by the glove of Andersen.
Face off to his left, comes right out for a chance that is blocked. That was off the stick of Klingberg, and it's blocked out to center ice, and Goligoski hustles across to put it back into the Anaheim zone. Bieksa plays it off the end boards. Watson sweeps it up the far side, and the Ducks get to it. And through center ice, it's flipped ahead by Cogliano, but it's knocked down and play whistled 27 seconds into this third period.
Klingberg played that one with a high stick. He had to puck a lot on that first shift of the third period. Shot from the point, second one, another face-off win shot blocked, and then that play right in front of his own bench. And he's the key vulcanized rubber transfer engineer for the Stars. Get back, get the puck, move it intelligently to the forwards.
Manson will push it along, get behind Letton. Jordy Benn plays it around now for Jokipakka, who takes a hit. The puck comes free. Jokipakka trying to tie up a couple of Anaheim players and does get the puck back. Skates it out the far side with Kessler coming at him and flips it up the far boards. And in front of the Ducks bench, it is picked up by Sagan, who tried a little toe drag move, but the Ducks come up with it. Manson for Kessler. That bounces off a skate and right back in where Andersen leaves it for Lindholm.
Janmark out here instead of Jamie Benn on this line.
Now Demers. Sharp will redirect it in wide, and Andersen leaves it there and allows Manson to play it around for Silfverberg. It was blocked momentarily by Oduya, but the Ducks get it out to center ice. Here's Rickard Rakell taking it wide. He's looking for some reinforcements. The other four guys were changing for Anaheim. Now it's picked up in the far corner, and Jamie Benn starts it back. On a line now with Jason Spezza and Patrick Eaves as the puck is thrown back into the Anaheim zone by Perry. It comes back to Perry center ice. He sends it across for Ryan Getzlaf into the zone against Goligoski, who poke checked him effectively. And now Benn hands it off for Spezza across the line. He drops it back for Eaves. And an easy stop there for Andersen as Theodore, the lone player there for either team, to play it up the boards. Rakell sends it across now. And Clayton Stoner ahead for Perry, who just redirects it deep into the Dallas zone.
I suspect we're going to see a lot of that here in the third day from both teams, just territorial. Stars want to get it in behind them and go to work. Ducks want to get it in behind Dallas and keep it away from their net.
Alex Hemsky has drawn a penalty here on the touch-up by the Ducks. The call will be made just 2 minutes and 8 seconds in.
Good speed through neutral ice to drive the Ducks back a little bit. And here's where you need your special teams to do something special for you. And it would be something special if you could score a goal against this penalty killing of the Ducks. Boy, that was pretty breezy by Hemsky, and the stick of Nate Thompson right in his blades. Down he goes. Off goes Thompson. Onto the power play come the Stars. They got to get one here. They put the fear of God, I think, into the Ducks again if they can.
Kessler controls the draw. Bieksa hammers it around, but it catches the netting over the glass and out of play.
Two guys that lead the Ducks in penalty minutes are the two delinquent former Canucks. That man, Bieksa, and Ryan Kessler, who are both out here killing. Bieksa was 61, Kessler was 56. Those are their leaders. You can move them out of Vancouver, but you can't take that part of their game out of them.
Face off to the left of Anderson. Spezza controls, comes to Seguin for a one-timer, and Anderson got over to handle that hard one-timer, and it's sent all the way back down wide of Lettinen.
As hard a blast as it is, you know, at today's net mining and a real good one like Anderson, it's a relatively easy save when you can see it all the way from 45, 50 feet away.
That's across the line now. Sagan's pass was blocked, and it's cleared by Silverberg. Demers back to get it now behind the Dallas net. Starts it back up the ice, being watched by Cogliano. Jason Demers across center ice, and now do that familiar drop pass. Jamie Benn able to find Jason Spezza with it. Throws it across for Demers. Now on the far side for Sharp. He drops it back to Demers. Back for Sharp on the far side. Still looking for a point to continue that streak of his. As Jamie Benn tries to jam it out in front, it goes off a stick and bounces back out to center ice.
Always seems like when they get a forward way up ice with that deep drop, they had Cogliano way out of position. That's when they should just attack on the power play, on the rush. You know, there's only 3 guys back. You have 4 guys attacking the net. Instead, they go in and try to set up, and it allows Cogliano to get back and the Ducks to get in their defensive posture.
Klingberg knocked down, but no call coming, and the puck into the zone offside after it deflected off a body.
So they start with a face-off win very early on. Actually, the Ducks won the first one, and then Bieksa ripped it up into the netting. They won the one right after that against Kessler. Nice work by Jason Spezza. Changed the point of attack, but you know, Ben's closed off in front of the net. No problem for Frederik Andersen, the goalie, to get across, and had a beat on Sagan's blast from distance all the way. 15 goals, 25 points, and 22 road games for Tyler Seguin. And as we documented before the game tonight, almost all of that's at even strength.
Yes. 38 seconds remaining in this Dallas power play. 3.5 into the third period of a game that the Stars trail 4-1.
Wow. That was ripped head high into the Stars bench. Lindy Ruff just motioned, get out of the way, and get right back to that. Trying to chip away at this 4-1 lead to the Ducks. The game is really bogged down, though, since that opening frame.
Kessler wins the drop from Fiddler, and it's worked back by Theodore all the way back down behind the Dallas goal. Ducks working on a franchise record, 33 consecutive kills. This is number 34. As it's off the stick of Goligoski and played back out through center ice. Racing after it is Kessler. So is Klingberg. They arrive at about the same time. Klingberg able to control the puck, able to get a little separation now with a dozen seconds remaining in this Dallas power play, their third of the night. As Hemsky sends it across, here is Fiddler. Deflected up on the boards, back behind Frederik Andersen. Jammed up there. Thompson is out of the box. They continue to jam it along the boards. It comes free up the far side for Klingberg, able to get away from Corey Perry. Klingberg now hit the back of the net as he was trying to set up Hemsky, who does get it. Now back to Klingberg in the corner. Makes a move against Stoner. Now Klingberg able to play it off Kessler. Backs up out to the line. Klingberg still looking for an opening, and his shot was blocked by Kessler. That stung number 17.
Kessler hung right with him. It's tough to do in that lateral dance that Klingberg's so good at. Obviously hit him where there's no padding. Youch.
Egan across the line now for Val Nichushkin. Around the boards for Antoine Roussel. Back for Nichushkin. Gets it in front for Cody Eakin. Good stop there by Anderson. His best of the night. As it's played up the far side and taken down by Ricard Rakell, closing in. Gets a shot away and a save made by Lettinen. So chances at both ends. Now Antoine Roussel starts it up the left wing side. He's got Eakin with him into the Duck zone. Roussel puts it right out in front. Picked off by Vatanen, who plays it up the far side. Nichushkin and Jokipaka there. The puck goes back to the corner. Roussel trying to find Cody Eakin. He couldn't get a stick free as the puck is cleared by Anaheim out to center ice.
Good shift. Same stuff that happened earlier here in the third with that line. Just win pucks deep in the zone, which has been a bit of a rarity for the Stars tonight. It generates that great chance for Eakin.
Oduya hands it off to Patrick Sharp. Wheels back into his own zone. Ahead for Tyler Seguin off of his stick. Silverberg center ice now for Hagelin. Lindholm for Kessler. Trying to jam a puck through Jokipaka, who got a piece of it, and now Jordy Ben drops it back for Jokipaka. Almost got handcuffed by the puck. Able to work it back now.
Got cut off by his own net there, trying to get his stick on that.
Sharp center ice. Pushes it ahead into the Anaheim zone. Ducks able to knock it away. Lindholm takes a hit from Sharp as he moves it along the near boards. It's picked up by Janmark. Out to Jordy Ben. Quickly delivers it to Anderson, who makes the save. Did around on the near side, deflects off Seguin and skips away from Jordy Ben, who has to step in front of Silverberg. And Jason Demers has it now. Out of his own zone. Demers pushes it ahead. In front of the Anaheim bench, he rolls it along in behind Anderson, who plays the puck. Out the far side, Ducks looking to come out with it. It goes off a skate, turned over by Anaheim. Here is Spezza with it. Spezza waits, tries to go high glove side and missed it up high. Now it's taken by Jason Demers off the boards. He'll roll it back in deep. Picked up by Jason Spezza again. Turns to the forehand. Wheels it in front. Just missed connecting there with Jamie Benn. Goligoski with it now below the goal line. He puts it out in front. Deflects to the far side. Spezza knocked away by Sakash and recovered now by Patrick Eaves. He tries to get it out in front. It hits a skate. Comes back to Spezza behind the Anaheim goal. Now the Ducks will play it around hard, but Goligoski there to block it. He gets it back to Jamie Benn at the line. Benn and to send it in deep for Spezza. Knocked away by the Ducks to the near boards. Taken by Goligoski. Rolls it behind the net to the far side. Here is Spezza. Able to find Benn out in the high slot with a shot and a save made by Anderson. Picked up by Goligoski again. Takes it back to the point one time, now goes back to Ben. He hands it off to Spezza, just misconnecting there. And the Ducks just hammer this puck. They'll take the icing. And they'll stay out there after one of the best sustained pressure shifts for the Dallas Stars of this game.
Yeah, the Ducks are back on their heels and just throwing pucks away, and the Stars are on their toes for the first time in the game. Nichushkin and company, both Roussel and Nichushkin behind the icing line. They win that puck, get it to Cody Eakin in front, point blank blast that Anderson turns aside. Again, from deep in the zone, out in front, Ben from distance. Nice save by Anderson, who had to deal with some traffic in front. So that little jockeying of the lines by Lindy Ruff just about paid off, but Anderson is the biggest issue the Stars have going on right now. Pretty good jostle between Eaves and Theodore. Took a cross check. It looked like right in the side of the head. Trying to find some range in there. That's where it pays to have that thick hirsute beard going on. He had the mustache wax going at casino night the other night. Takes it to the next level. So yeah, this is going to be difficult to actually unbraid, because the Ducks are in full prevent mode here now with a 3-goal lead in the third. So they're going to give up some shots. Are the Stars getting their game back together and their feet under them here? Or is it a combination of the two right now? So timeout taken by the Ducks to talk things over after that icing.
After that extended shift in the Anaheim zone, so Boudreau decided to take his timeout there. And a faceoff now to the right of Anderson. Fiddler wins the draw back to Oduya. Sends it to the far corner. Vatanen backhands it, but it's stopped by Hemsky. He'll play it back around now for Vern Fiddler. Fiddler below the goal line. Fiddler walks out to the far corner with it. Now back in deep, Travis Moen has it. Moen drops it back where Hemsky picks it up. Alice Hemsky wrapped up but trying to fight off the check there of Santorelli. Out to the line now for Oduya. He'll roll it back in deep for Fiddler. Fiddler behind the net. It's knocked off his stick. The Ducks play it up the near side. Sakash with it. It comes free out to the line and gets away from Hemsky and rolls all the way down. Could be another icing call here. The Ducks try to start making a change. And they're arguing that at least one of those changes should be allowed, but
well, they're a little upset too. I think they're thinking Ales Hemsky could have easily played that. Maybe they don't know how short Ales Hemsky's stick is.
yeah.
So they go with the Fiddler line, and they spend the entire shift in the Duck zone. They still can't get their full change in, and Roussel, Eakin, and Nichushkin come out for this shift.
To the right of Anderson, Roussel gets it out toward Jordy Benn, who fires a shot that's deflected high and wide. Nichushkin chases it down. Here's Roussel below the goal line, out in the corner, hands it off to Nichushkin with a shot through traffic, and a save made by Anderson. It's sent back in wide of the Anaheim goal. Now Theodore plays it out the far side, and Maroon finally gets it by the Dallas defense and does not take an icing, so the Ducks make the change. Jordy Benn's pass intended for Eakin was taken away by Ricard Raquel.
Stars just haven't been able to make them pay for those situations like that, right? The broken stick by Horcoff back in the second period. This extended play in their own zone with some icings and tired players on the ice. Just haven't been able to execute.
Getzlaf drops it back, BX out of his own zone to center ice. Will wrist it right in on Lettinen, who blocks it to the far boards. Raquel got a stick on it. Getzlaf now plays it along for Corey Perry. Perry walks it out the far boards, and from the circle gets a shot away from the angle. It's in the glove of Lettinen, and he will hold it there. We will step aside. 10:52 remaining here in the third period. Same score that we came into period number 3. It remains 4-1 Anaheim. Television history will be made Sunday when the first ever UFC title bout comes to FS1. Bantamweight champ TJ Dillashaw puts his belt on the line as he takes on former champ and number 1 ranked contender Dominic Cruz, plus former world champion Anthony Pettis battles Eddie Alvarez. It all begins on Sunday at 6 p.m. Central, only on FS1. Dave Strader back along with Darrell Ray here at Honda Center in Anaheim, start of this 3-game California trip. Ducks with a 4-1 lead. They scored too close together early in the first, too close together late in the first. Shorthanded tally early in the second by Janmark, all the scoring for Dallas, and that's where we stayed on the scoreboard. As Manson turned it over, and here comes Janmark back the other way into the Anaheim zone. Hagelin with that good speed coming back and leaning on Janmark all the way to the end boards. Now the puck taken away by the Stars and centered, intercepted by Lindholm, played around the boards, blocked by Goligoski, but as he tried to find Seguin, it came outside the line. Now Seguin drops it back to Klingberg. We're approaching the halfway mark of this third period. Now up the far side, Goligoski across the line. Tried to get a pass through, but it hit a skate.
Just got to keep going forward. You can see Seguin had to put the binders on and stop up at the blue line. And that's exactly what the Ducks want. They don't want the Stars pouring over their line with all kinds of speed and possession.
Center ice now for Spencer. Able to get a pass through. Here is Eves. Had to change the angle, and the shot was blocked by Monson, and now it comes back out to the line off the stick of Jamie Benn, but there was nobody there for the Stars, and Lettinen comes out to play the puck off the boards, and it bounces out to center ice. Over in front of the Anaheim bench, Jason Demers picks it up and rolls it back in deep. The Ducks recover quickly. It comes to BX on the near side. And the former Vancouver Canuck lays it back into the Dallas zone. And here was Jason Demers skating it out for the Stars. Met by Raquel as he rolls it back in behind Anderson. Goes back along the end boards. Vern Fiddler is there. So is Hemsky. Puck comes free, far corner. Raquel with it. Drops it back. Now it's lifted high in the air and back out to center ice. Getzlaf plays it off the near board, and it's recovered now by Oduya.
Just a very simple, ugly game for the Ducks now. You can see them, they get the puck in their own zone. It's chip it off the glass, off the boards, out over center ice. Make the Stars come all the way through them.
Ducks out of their own zone, but they puck off the boards out of the reach of Perry, and Travis Moan will drop it right back behind Anderson around on the far side. Getzlaf blocked it with the body. Now Clayton Stoner. It's knocked away by Eakin. Popped right out in front of the Anaheim net. But it's the Ducks that are there, and Raquel got it to center ice, took a hit from Nichushkin.
That's the story of the night. Every time a puck is popped out right in front of Freddie Anderson, there's been a Duck there. That's good defending.
Cody Eakin on the far side. Tried to walk out of the corner with it. He was met by Clayton Stoner. Played around the boards. Jordy Benn. High slot now. Eakin drops it back for Yoki Paka. Yoki Paka trying to avoid. The Duck player who took him down, and Sean Horkoff, the former Star, is going to go to the penalty box. And with 8:11 remaining in the third, will step aside. The Stars are down 3. They need one here on this power play coming back.
I know Ducks coach Bruce Boudreau thinks the world of Jamie Benn and worries about how to keep him at bay. They've done it here tonight. Benn and company on the power play here, though, now, and he's their leader with 11 power play goals.
Shots are 30-19 in favor of Anaheim, but the shot attempts, Razor, are 50 apiece. A lot of blocks for the Ducks and a lot of misses on top of that by the Stars. Going to work on the power play in front of Champ. Score! Champ home by Jamie Benn.
Well, he was given free rein on his forehand from in behind the icing line. And those quick hands worked their way around Frederik Andersen. A little more patience on this setup. Down low, if you're going to give me that, I'm taking it. Lindholm had backed off. Manson was way out of position. Usually their D do not chase out a lot. Manson got up above the dot line, or the face-off dot, and usually that's like a dog collar for their penalty kill defenseman. And when he went charging out, Benn was afforded some space and dialed him up for his 12th power play goal of the year.
So it's a 2-goal difference. Jason Spezza, who got the primary assist, backhands at center ice, but is driven right back by Bieksa around the boards on the far side. Skips free for a Thompson shot that's blocked, and Spezza looking to break here. He's got Patrick Eaves with him. Coming late is Jamie Benn. The pass across intended for Benn, intercepted by Thompson. Now the puck taken by Benn in behind the Anaheim net, knocked off his stick, comes up the near side, swept out along the boards, and Horkoff stepped in front of that, and back the other way comes Cogliano. Cogliano cruising in for a chance here, a save by Letton, and the rebound cleared. Nate Thompson was moving up on the far side as well to make that a 2-on-1.
Good stop, important stop if they have any designs on getting all the way back to level here.
Spezza and Demers the assist on the 26th of the year for the Dallas Stars captain. Now it's turned over as Hagelin tries to make a play to the front of the net for Silverberg. Out in the high slot, it's picked up by Silverberg, had his pocket, picked it back the other way, comes Janmark. Matthias Janmark rolls it across, but boy, the Ducks got back quickly. Silverberg got in the way of that pass, and now Kessler sets it up, gets the return. Kessler trying to close in on Kari Lehtinen, and the puck was knocked away as Kessler went sliding into the net and knocked it off behind the Dallas goaltender.
He just wanted, he had one thing on his mind, Ryan Kessler, and that was to draw a call. Demers went after him. They are smelling each other's breath down there right now. Demers physically went after him. Kessler sort of rolled off of that, got partially in behind him. Overcomes Demers, loses balance, back up again, and this is all about just trying to get a call.
Yep.
And they didn't get it, and Demers didn't like him sliding in near his netminder. Chance earlier, Cogliano scored the other night from the same spot against Ottawa. This time, though, Kari Lehtinen had a beat on it all the way. So a big stop there. You can suspect if it stays this way for a few more minutes, he's going to end up on the bench for an extra attacker.
Yoki Paka from inside the Dallas zone slides it across. Now it comes back to Cody Eakin. He'll skate it into the Anaheim zone, takes it wide. On Theodore behind the net, able to elude most of that Clayton Stoner check. Now Jordie Benn throws it back in deep. Here's Nichushkin behind the Ducks goal. Walks it out to the far corner, sends it out to the line. Now the high slot, it comes to Eakin. Cody Eakin, long-range shot, didn't get through. May have hit his own teammate Yoki Paka. It comes to center ice for Raquel. Rickard Raquel trying to dance around Eakin, who got back and made a play. And then Jordie Benn, away from the play, took down Raquel. And Jordie puts his arms out like, really?
Behind the play, Roussel and Manson are having words with one another. Really, there hasn't been much they've needed to call, and then they made the call on Sean Horkoff that was marginal. Stars cash in on that. Raquel, who can really dangle, tries to pull it inside, and there's no question that Jordie Benn gave him a little shot in the lower lumbar on his way through, and because the player went down, they didn't get the call on Kessler earlier, but it planted a seed perhaps, and the bearded Benn will have to sit. This cuts into the ability to pull themselves to within one.
6:09 remaining here in the third period.
Stars did score shorthanded on the last Ducks power play. Janmark back in the second period.
The face-off to the left of Lettinen. Kessler for the Ducks, Fiddler for the Stars. Boy, it's taken them a while to drop this puck. Finally they do, and it comes back to the line now for Lindholm. Straight away, takes a look. Now sends it toward the net, and it's redirected up on the netting and out of play.
Well, you watch the Ducks go about their business, and Kessler's a sly dog. He drops into a position in the high slot where he knows he can pick off Jamie Benn when they're folding. The two forwards are folding under one another to stay in a shot lane for a point shot. I don't know why more guys don't do that, to be honest with you. At least go through sticks, if not just hold some ice and pick a player and open up some space.
Face-off down to the right of Lettinen, controlled by the Stars, and it's Antoine Roussel able to clear it all the way back down the ice. Under 6 minutes remaining here in the third. Minute 40 remaining in a Jordie Benn minor penalty. Stars trail by a pair, 4-2. Lindholm for Kessler. Now to the far corner, Patrick Maroon. Along the boards out to the line. The Ducks hold it in. It comes to Lindholm again toward the net. Lettinen save. Rebound chance. Kessler. And a stop by Lettinen. Now it comes back out to Bieksa. Thought about a shot. Hangs onto it instead. Feeds it far side. Silverberg down low for Kessler. Return pass to the side of the net. And it's Demers who tried to clear, but it goes right to Lindholm. Shot pass to the front. Deflected wide. Now it comes back out to the line, and Lindholm has it there. Kessler lost his stick. He's replaced now by Getzlaf, who steps out onto the ice and takes his position on the far side. A shot toward the net, sent in just wide. Less than a minute remaining in the penalty. To Jordie Benn now is Lindholm, just to the far side, hands it off to Bieksa. Rim of the near circle now for Patrick Maroon. Hands it off down low. Silverberg. Getzlaf getting close together now. Getzlaf sends it out to the far point. Lindholm has it there. Straight away for Bieksa. Now he comes to Getzlaf. Getzlaf with a little shot pass to the front. Picked up by Maroon. Plays it around the boards on the near side. Approaching 20 seconds left in this power play. Save made by Lettinen on a shot. He was screened in front there by Silverberg, but the Stars don't get it out. Here's Getzlaf with it. High slot straight away at the line. Moves it near side for Bieksa. He'll pound a shot that doesn't get all the way through. And the puck is picked up here by Roussel, and he'll send it all the way back down the ice.
Solid penalty killing out of Antoine Roussel tonight, and some good goaltending from Kari Lettinen as this has moved along. Some big stops to keep them in touch of this score.
Getzlaf gets it into the zone, but Jokipaka blocks it. Lettinen made 4 saves on that Anaheim power plays. It's wrapped around on the far side and whistled as an icing. Faceoff will go back into the Dallas zone with under 4 minutes remaining here in the third period.
You're right, too. He was dealing with a lot of people right in his grill in front of the net, fighting through that with these shots from distance. Kessler taking his eyes away, handled that twice. Rattle around a little bit. Got to have a lot of that. Bieksa with the little wrister. He knew he had a screen set up in front. Silverberg right there. He deflected a shot in early in the game to open the scoring back in the first period. He's done his job after the first period. Make sure they don't get a fifth.
Draw controlled by the Stars in their own zone. Lobbed ahead. Off the glove of Manson, picked up now by Spezza. Good job by East to stay inside. Spezza with a shot that's blocked. Now the puck recovered by Vatanen, who played around the board. Cogliano battling there with Goligoski. Nice job by Jamie Benn to pull it off the wall. Hands it off for a weak shot attempt by Jokipaka. It was kind of handcuffing him there. Now Jokipaka back in his own zone. 3.5 remaining here in the third. Stars down by 2. Here comes Mattias Janmark across the line. Takes it wide. Shot deflected to the far boards. Back up Silverberg battling there with Tyler Seguin. Now the puck squirts free, and it's Kessler that has it. He starts it back along with Hagelin. That went off the skates of Jordie Benn. He wasn't sure where it was along the boards. Hagelin. And a backhanded toward the Dallas net. Now it's recovered by the Stars and played out to center ice. And Janmark leaves it there now for Seguin. His shot is blocked wide in behind the Anaheim goal. Anderson hands it off for Bieksa. It goes around and off the glove of Klingberg to center ice. And under 3 minutes remaining in the third as Klingberg at his own line. Plays it ahead now. Here is Patrick Sharp trying to make a move, but it's taken away by the Ducks and turned back now by Ryan Getzlaf across the line. Rolls it to the corner. Johnny Oduya picks it up. He tried to play it up the wall. It was blocked, and a shot by Perry deflects all the way to the far side of the Dallas zone. Under 2.5 remaining now here in regulation time. Now it's picked up by Eakin. A backhand flip ahead, and it skips off of Theodore. Almost in there clean behind everybody was Antoine Roussel. Now Corey Perry tries to clear, but it's blocked by Cody Eakin. He turns trying to get to the forehand. Clearing attempt is blocked by Oduya. He threw it back toward the Ducks net. A battle for the puck. It comes out now to Raquel. Knocked away from him. Picked up by Roussel. And a shot and a save by Anderson. The big Dane in good position there. We're going to have a face-off in the Anaheim zone with 2:02 remaining and a 2-goal deficit. We might see Kari Lehtonen on the bench for an extra attacker when we come back here at Honda Center.
Well, here it is, as teased earlier tonight. It's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. A couple of the goals in the first period that were truly killers. The one 31 seconds after Silverberg opened the scoring, Sami Vatanen made it 2-0, and then after Lindholm had scored on the power play, about 33 seconds after that, the prettiest goal of the night, finished off by Corey Perry to give them a 4-0 lead. Lindy Ruff took his timeout after that one. Stars haven't given up another goal since then. Janmark and Ben have battled back, and they have the extra attacker on and trying to go for it here with just an eyelash over 2 minutes to go in regulation.
Face off to the left of Anderson. It'll be Spezza, Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin, Patrick Sharp, John Klingberg, Alex Goligoski.
Got a point streak on the line here for Patrick Sharp.
2:02 on the clock. Seguin wins the draw. Klingberg had it knocked away by Horkoff, who sends it back toward the open net, but sent it in wide, and this will be icing. Another face-off back in the Anaheim zone. Both coaches have used their timeouts.
So can he extend this to what would be a Dallas Stars record? 13 straight games. Stars would certainly love that as they try to come all the way back. They were down 4-0. 4-2. Goalie on the bench. 12-game point streak on the line for Patrick Sharp.
Face-off controlled by Thompson. Lindholm trying to find some open space, trying to chip it ahead. It was blocked by Goligoski. Now sent back in along the end boards. Lindholm stepping in front of Sharp. Lindholm tried to clear, bounced off, and a chance here for Ben. Oh, what a stop by Anderson, and Sharp was in behind Anderson, and it looked like the puck might squirt through, but it did not. Anderson kept it covered. Another face-off coming.
He twisted just right. Jamie Benn beat Getzlaf off the boards. They were in a physical battle after they can't get the puck out. Great pinch by Goligoski down the boards to shrink the rink a little bit. They hit their own guy in front. Anderson just twisted right. Comes out, gets enough of it. You're right, Sharp was right in behind him if it's loose.
Face off to the right of Anderson, down to a minute 43 remaining here in regulation. Jamie Benn against Ryan Kesler on this face-off. Bounces out to the top of the circle, and Silverberg got there ahead of the Stars and just rolled it back into the Dallas zone. Jason Demers back to get it. Now it comes to Goligoski, ahead for Jamie Benn. He redirects it in deep behind Anderson, settles it down, wrapped around, and it goes up on the netting and out of play. Another face-off deep in Anaheim territory.
I think Alex Goligoski lost where that puck went after Jamie Benn won it sort of straight up in the air, and there was a delayed reaction from Goligoski at the left point, and by the time he started to move toward the puck, it had already been chipped out and past him, but they get another chance on the same dot.
Same two guys, Jamie Benn, Ryan Kesler. Minute 25 remaining here in the third. 4-2, Ducks lead. They both jumped the gun a bit there.
I like that they don't boot anybody out at this point, though.
Now Kesler wins it cleanly. And it's lobbed high in the air and softly back into the Dallas zone. Jason Demers will get back there and get it. Now Demers drops it back. Spezza from center ice hammers it high off the glass behind Anderson. Up the boards, it's picked up and out to the high slot now for Patrick Sharp. Sharp looks down low, hands it off there for Spezza, centering pass, bounces to the far circle. Jason Demers now for Jamie Benn. Back to Demers along the far board, sends it across for Goligoski. Goligoski toward the net, into the glove of Anderson. He holds it there.
You don't usually see this anymore. Bruce Boudreau puts 2 center icemen out for these draws in the zones. That used to be everybody did that back in the day, right?
Yeah.
In case the one center would get kicked out, you'd have 2 guys out there. Your second guy could come in. So Getzlaf and Kessler both out here right now. And if they win it and get it out, like they did previous time, Getzlaf just goes off for another player.
So now it'll be Cody Eakin across from Kessler. Cody won the draw. It's picked up now by Hemsky. Hemsky high slot. And it's off a couple of sticks, held in at the line by Klingberg. Now Klingberg has it go off his glove. It'll be picked up by Eakin, who sends it back into the far corner. Under 40 seconds remaining here now is Lindholm. Hemsky sends it out to the far side for Yoki Paka. Now for a one-timer by Klingberg off a skate. Picked up by the Ducks and fired all the way back down the ice. And why not toward the open net? Up by 2, but it sails wide. Another icing call.
Well, there's some nasty stuff going on down there right now. Eves and Manson were at one another right around the net. The Stars have done a lot of what they're trying to do here right now. They've won draws, gained the puck, tried to get it toward the net, but the humanity in the slot in front of Frederik Andersen is thick.
Face-off to Anderson's left. Kessler against Spezza on this face-off. 25 seconds remaining. Puck is dropped. It comes to Manson on the far side. He just angles it off the boards and back inside the Dallas line. Not enough time now, down by 2, but here comes Sharp trying to keep the point streak alive. Takes it wide on Lindholm. Tried to get it to the front, but it's blocked by the Ducks to the near side. Well, the Ducks score 4 times in the first period, and they make it stand up here, Razor, as they're going to win this by a final score of 4-2 to even the season series in a game apiece.
Yeah, I think the lesson the Stars learned tonight is just because you're fresh as a daisy doesn't mean you won't stink like manure. And that's what happened early in this one. They were not very good early on. And a 4-0 lead is tough to cut into. Stars couldn't get it all the way back to level here tonight, although they did get better as the game moved along.
They did get better. They won the second period, as you pointed out, won the third with the only goals in those periods, but it was Anaheim coming at the Stars physically and doing it with scoring as well. The Silverberg and Montanen goals half a minute apart. The Lindholm and Perry goals just over half a minute apart before Janmark in the second shorthanded and Jamie Benn on a power play in the third to finish off the scoring. Tonight's game was produced by Jason Walsh, directed by Mark Vittorio, associate producers John Sponsler, Doug Foster, and Cody Eastwood. 4-2 Ducks win it. For Dale Ray, I'm Dave Strader. Good night from SoCal.